So, what is it? Which one? Well, let's take a little look at history first. For starters, it could be a scene from an OG anime, the ones that came first. They showed how original anime can be.
Prepare for trouble.
Make it double.
Or it could be from an anime that came next. They weren't the first, but they showed that anime was only just getting started.
Bankai.
Or it could be from an anime that came a little later. They showed that anime is the best.
Hey master. I am math scientist. It's so cool. Son of a
Or it could come from an anime that came out not too long ago. They showed that anime can be enjoyed by anyone. Yeah, what is the greatest anime scene ever? Oh, by the way, that was just the intro. Now that we got some obvious choices out of the way, let's actually start this video and give this topic the respect that it deserves. So get ready for some of the absolute best scenes that anime has to offer.
I got her, hermano. We can go now. Okay.
Oh yeah, let's start this off with a different scene. No, that's not right. Let's see here. Oh yeah, no. There's gotta be a normal anime scene here somewhere to start with. Sorry, give me a second.
It's a showtime!
You know, the one you consider to be the greatest in the world, though. The one that lights up your eyes every time you see it. It rises above the rest. Dunks on the competition. Perhaps it's a scene from an old but iconic anime that still looks incredible after all this time. Or maybe instead it's a scene from a newer anime that will still look incredible for many years to come. Or maybe you just prefer a scene where girls shoot at each other. I mean, sure, why not? Absolute cinema. I mean, sheesh, these scenes always go hard. I don't know why, but I ain't complaining. Thanks, Japan. If we're being real though, deciding what is the greatest anime scene ever is no walk in the park, but if you had to choose one, it would have to be a fight, right? Perhaps it's that one that has those breathtaking visuals. Or maybe it's a fight scene that gets you hyped every time you see it. That one fight you could watch over and over and over again. There's just a certain aura to it. An intensity, almost maddening, but undeniably mesmerizing.
Let's kick this up a notch, shall we?
It pushes the limit, takes it to the next level, and then it gets to that point where you say, oh, it just got real. You can hear it. The music has changed. He's transformed. He became legendary, changed anime as a whole forever. The greatest of all time. Now, as for the bad guys,
Exodia! It's not possible!
well, yeah, those bad guys, they're totally screwed. Absolutely cooked. Despair, you've lost! Oh boy, here it comes! But yeah, anyway, at the end of the day, maybe the greatest anime scene ever isn't a fight. After all, there's more to anime than just violence and aura farming, I think. Maybe instead, the greatest anime scene ever is all about... that romance. I mean, how can it not?
こうして今日は記念すべき日になった。
It's the moment. It's what completes the story. It's the scene with all the emotions delivered in the most satisfying way. There's just nothing quite like it. The anxiety before the confession, the rush of finally saying those 3 words, the surprise of hearing them, the laughter to break the tension, and the excitement of it all working out. Sure, it may not be the flashiest scene, maybe even a bit awkward, but you can't deny it leaves the biggest smile on your face, and it also makes you shed a couple of tears as well, okay? Let's be honest. You cried, I cried, all the homies cried. And that's okay, that there's no shame in that. Especially when we waited 13 years for this moment. Or what about 20 years for this moment? 20 years! Just admit it, it doesn't get better than this.
You know what? I love you. Now what?
But then again, maybe not. Perhaps a bit too cheesy to be the greatest anime scene ever. I mean, I love me some romance, but if we're just talking one scene, this probably isn't it. Besides, who said there had to be romance for it to be a feel-good moment? And who said it had to be a fight scene for it to be hype? Besides, isn't it more hype when it's based more in reality? But more importantly, the greatest anime scene ever is more than just fleeting emotions. It's a culmination of everything that came before. It's a moment that stays with you. It's a moment that feels earned. There was a lot of training and trials to get through, many ups and downs, but finally, he became champion. It was a brutal war. The journey to survive seemed impossible, but through loyalty and determination, the impossible happened. She was struggling to achieve a dream. The anxiety was crippling, but she finally found that courage within herself to break through. And look at her go. Inspirational. Inspiration to rise to the challenge. Give it everything you have. Take joy in the experience. Inspiration to do the right thing. To stand up for others regardless of the consequences. Have no regrets. Inspiration to get out of your comfort zone. Take risks. Try something new. Inspiration to overcome your fears. Pick up an axe and slay a dragon? Well, okay, let's see here.
A few moments later.
Well, you can say it's relatable in a way. I mean, yeah, rising up to finally defeat a monster is like an analogy for conquering the many challenges of life, right? Like kicking out that one toxic person in your life. Or slamming that freezer door shut to avoid eating that second tub of ice cream. Or what about ripping apart that addiction you have to gacha games and League of Legends? Yeah, beat that addiction. Beat the crap out of it. See? Anime. So inspirational. Okay, yeah, I know. Anime can be a bit over the top at times. But listen, that's the best part. Yeah, let's be real. The greatest anime scene ever just isn't complete without that memorable quote. Go beyond plus ultra. Set your heart ablaze. Believe in me who believes in you. Who the hell do you think I am? I have no enemies. It's not just about what is being said, it's also about who is saying it. It's words they may have heard before but didn't believe at first, but now it's the core of their being. It's a quote that perfectly encapsulates their philosophy and by extension the philosophy of the anime as a whole. It's their conviction, words they live by. They back it up, even if it means putting their own lives on the line, whatever it takes, because that's what heroes do. They sacrifice for their family. They sacrifice for their crewmates. They sacrifice for the truth. They sacrifice for the greater good. And honestly, is there anything more noble than that? So the greatest anime scene ever? One scene that represents the best of anime? There's no doubt in my mind. I just have one thing I have to say though, and that is, why so serious? No, really, why so serious? Are we really gonna say the greatest anime scene ever is some over-the-top sappy moment? Really? No, sorry, I can't accept that. You know what we need to do? We need to loosen up a bit. That's right, let's get those arms moving. Gotta warm up those limbs. Don't forget the legs now. I know we don't use those very often, but we need them. Most important of all though, those ears. Very crucial. Finally, let's loosen up those vocal cords with a good laugh, shall we? Perfect. See? All better, right? Don't be shy. Go ahead, take a bite of that potato chip. You deserve it. No need to hold back. And while you're at it, why not dig into that uncooked ramen straight from the package? That's right. Treat yourself. Just don't forget to wash it down afterwards with some vodka. I mean water. Yes, I meant water. Okay, we're good now though, right? Well, what I'm trying to get at here is, when it comes to deciding what is the greatest anime scene ever, we tend to get our panties in a bunch. You swim through an endless pool of anime scenes on YouTube trying to figure it out. It was only supposed to be a few minutes of browsing, but it turned into hours. Then the next thing you know, you can't sleep at night. You're restless. You're tossing and turning. And then you start turning and tossing other people. It's out of control. It's a mess, really. But if you take a step back from it all and really think about it, you'll realize you're getting choked up for nothing, because the answer is simple. The greatest anime scene ever is the one that everyone has seen before. It's instantly recognizable. It's everywhere, referenced non-stop, for better or for worse. What is this, you may ask? Of course, what I'm talking about here is
Come on, hang in there, Butterfree!
the memes.
これは鳩ですか？
おや、気づきましたか。陸殿も好き者にござるな。
お前はもう死んでいる。何？
It should have been me, not him!
このディオだ!
It's over 9,000!
It's a terrible day for rain.
Ah yes, the memes. What would we do without them? And how can we forget the scene that gave us the most important word for us weebs?
なんだ？女の人の写真。綺麗な人やな。誰？
My wife.
君を味合わせて今から君が僕のダーリンだ
Speaking of which, best scene? Nah, more like best girl. I mean, do you want to know what the greatest anime scene ever actually is? Well, let me tell you. The greatest anime scene ever is whatever scene that has best girl in it. Am I right? Or am I right? Really, why limit ourselves to one measly scene when all scenes with best girl are the greatest? There may be a lot going on these days, but I can tell you, the best girl economy has never been better. So I say, let's do away with this greatest anime scene ever nonsense and embrace our 2D queen. Or queens, you know, that there could be multiple. I see no problem with that. Shoot, we could even go with worst girl. What the heck? Get in here, you useless goddess. But then again, maybe not. Sure, best girls are great and all, but there truly are anime scenes that leave you speechless. Sometimes it's the incredible animation from a top-tier studio that gets to you. Sometimes it's the soundtrack, perhaps a song that takes you home. Or it could be the story itself, that touching moment that's forever etched into your memory. Or instead, it could be a tragic moment that stays with you, because that person shouldn't have died. It's not right. It eats away at you. It rips your heart out. It breaks you. It haunts you. And sometimes, it betrays you. There's a sinking feeling you get in that moment, because you know the story will never be the same again. It really is an anime scene that leaves you speechless. But perhaps the most poignant of them all is a scene that isn't very dramatic. In fact, the scene is rather simple. It doesn't really have any dialogue even. No, the greatest anime scene ever is a scene that doesn't rely on memorable lines. In fact, it's a scene that quite literally is speechless. There's something about it. The vibe is different. It's not your usual scene. A bit unexpected. Sometimes it goes on for a while. And other times, it's brief, yet impactful. It's the kind of scene that could happen at any point in the story, beginning, middle, or end, but regardless of when it happens, it never feels out of place. It's a scene where barely a word is spoken. There's no explanation, no explosions, no exaggerated facial expressions. It may be mundane on the surface, but it's all the more captivating. A sort of break from the chaos. It's a look back on how far you've come in this crazy, crazy journey. It's a scene that lets you breathe, take it all in, bask in the silence, admire the visuals, listen to the music. It's the moment where the walls fall down. There's a sense of relief, a catharsis. Nothing is really being said, but it tells you everything through what it shows you. It's the kind of scene where you're not just watching a guy hop into a mech. You can see and hear the feet settle in, the arms enter, rotate, and slide into place. You can see the gears lock in and start to spin. The machinery creaks, and the giant rises. It's the kind of scene where you're not just watching a guy ride a bike. There's also the engine firing up, the sparks flying, and the tires spinning. Then when he takes off, you get a tour of the city. You see all the shining lights and the holograms. And eventually, you get treated to possibly the most iconic shot in the history of anime. Yeah, it's that kind of scene. A scene that uses the ordinary to show something extraordinary. A scene as ordinary as a mother playing in the snow with their 2 children. It reminds us that no matter how crazy life may be, it shouldn't stop us from enjoying the simple things. Because that's what makes us human. Speechless. Honestly, yeah, this scene is my greatest anime scene ever. But that's the thing. It's just my greatest anime scene ever. So what is the actual greatest anime scene ever? The one that is truly the best of the best. The GOAT. Well, on one hand, there are those absolutely iconic scenes that naturally stand out, and rightfully so. After all, they're an important part of anime history, so choosing one of those would make for a perfectly valid answer. But on the other hand, if we look beyond what's historically significant, there are a lot of other incredible anime scenes out there. Some of these may not be as influential, or maybe it's too early to really know their impact. But if we see them for what they are, there's so much to appreciate here. I mean, look at all the different topics I covered in this video. Like fight scenes? Come on, there are so many more incredible ones out there that I didn't show. I could already see the comments telling me which ones I should have included. Really, let's be honest. Fight scenes alone could be a video all by themselves. Not just for all the amazing choreography, but also the epic abilities and entrances. Whew, chills every time, man. And if not the chills, gotta have those warm fuzzy feelings from those wholesome romance scenes. Can't count those out. Oh yeah, and we can't forget about the great comedy scenes out there as well. Anyone remember this guy? I could make a whole highlight reel of just this guy right here. Speaking of guys, I talked about best girls, but what about best guys? Also, what about all those beautifully animated scenes? These are a work of art. And don't get me started with the scenes with food in them. Oh my goodness. And I think we can all agree that the art in any scene from a Hayao Miyazaki film is a masterpiece. And finally, on top of all that, there are those scenes that fall into categories that I didn't even mention. It should come as no surprise that anime has quite the variety of incredible scenes out there. A short 20-minute YouTube video isn't going to cover them all, really. I'm only just beginning to scratch the surface here. So, the greatest anime scene ever? I think it's impossible to pick just one. Although what do I know, I'm just a random YouTuber. I'm sure someone else out there can give a convincing answer. But with there being so many different kinds of anime scenes, I think there's a more interesting question. What is the greatest anime scene ever for you personally? It's a question that has no wrong answer. And there are a lot of great possible answers. I shared mine, so what's yours? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching.
ありがとう。忘れないで。お母さんはいつもアンのこと愛してるわ。私は生きたい。